And welcome to About 6 Acres. I'm Juana.
And I'm Nick.
And today we are in the classroom. We are actually getting ready to do some gardening.
Yeah, we got some things to up-pot, some things to seed to get going. We got some fertilizing to do, and we got some potatoes to plant.
Yeah, we have quite a long list of things, so my stance is if we get one thing done, I'll feel like that's huge progress. We are in Zone 8B in Texas, and today is President's Day, so it's the perfect day to actually plant potatoes. And at this point, you can plant successionally. We did pick up our seed potatoes from the local nursery. We got, this one in particular is Kennebec, but we got a couple of different varieties. Lesota is another one, and Yukon Gold is another one. I think Yukon Gold is an early one, so it tends to do really well, and they're like 90 days. So between now and 3 months, we'll be able to harvest them. But these are seed potatoes, and you can plant organic potatoes that you buy from the store.
Yeah, you can plant the organic ones from the store, or ones that you've grown previously that you know are organic. You can do that. The reason why we buy seed potatoes from our nursery is because they are, at the time of purchase, raised to be planted and supposed to be disease free. So, for example, the potatoes that we grew, we had that weird rainy weather, so there was some, what is that, pitting? Some scabbing or some pitting, so that could spread disease, to your plants, and then it's wiped out. So with seed potatoes, you know that they're going to be, disease free when you plant them, and, have more potential to get a better crop. But again, you can plant your own potatoes that you grow and save, as long as you look at them and inspect them and know that they're not disease free or damaged in any way, or organic ones from the store.
But the expense to us was just worth it to know that there was a higher probability that we would get healthy plants and would get, instead of trying to force some of the ones that we had that were a little bit subpar.
Plus, ours didn't last. We ate like all of ours.
This is...
Thank you, buddy. We got the chickens.
Thank you, Dwight. Dwight apparently is going to try to help us. But this is kind of what some of the growth already looks like on this seed potato.
We're going to plant the whole potato. We don't cut, what is that, chitting? Is that called chitting?
Yes.
So we don't cut the potato in half or anything like that, and then wait for it to scab over on the one side. We just buy the potato and we just put it in the ground, because it's easier. We don't have to wait, and then if you cut, then maybe there's something wherever you store it, a disease or something gets in. So we plant the whole thing.
Yeah, but if you did want to do the chitting, what they say is you just want to make sure that you have
some eyes.
Yeah, some eyes, and then cut them. Like you said, you probably want to wait a week or two for it to completely dry over before you put it in the ground, so that it does not rot. All that said, let's get planting. This is what our seed potatoes look like. I think we got a couple of pounds. We got a couple of pounds of each one. And like I said, a couple of weeks from now, we'll probably get another batch. We also want to try to grow some of the purple potatoes. So we just have to find those and get those in the ground. Potatoes are amazing for us, so we definitely want to make sure we grow as much as possible.
So we're going to use our raised beds out in our garden that we used before. Some of them we've already filled with a lot of the compost and organic material. We're going to need a little shovel or trowel to dig our trenches. And then I'm going to use some of the Microlife Ultimate Fertilizer in there. And you want less nitrogen one, but since this is a slow release organic one, it's got the phosphorus and potassium. I also have some spent or used wood pellets, so that are almost charcoal or like ash, and we'll put in there as well. This bed we had filled it up. You can see we got some goat manure in there and everything, so I'm just chopping it up because some of the straw that we had from the bedding had the seeds, and so they're germinating, so we're chopping it in, and then we're just going to prep it and make some trenches to bury our potatoes in. We also had a lot of rain over the weekend, so this is going to help get some of that excess moisture out. We're not going too far turning it over, just that top portion. All right, so I think we have the trenches, got 3 going. So we'll see what we can plant. What I'm gonna do is put some of the fertilizer down in the row and some of the spent wood pellets to act as like phosphorus and potassium and all that good stuff. So it'll be in there, good organic material. I see some cool bugs going on, so it's nice. It's nice and moist, it's not overly saturated. I'm gonna take some of this Microlife fertilizer. Again, it's slow release, longer life, and put it in here. And again, we're gonna add more things in this bed as well, probably in the middle rows. So, you know, a little fertilizer goes a long way. You know, we really like the Microlife products, you know, especially this ultimate fertilizer. And just sprinkle it in there. Let's get to this other side. And then I have some of these wood pellets, again, that we just used in our grill. Carbonized, so a little bit in there. I think some people do put like wood ash in there as well. We're just going to space our potatoes 12 to 18 inches apart. Give us enough for that mass underneath to form. And as they grow, again, we'll hill and build it up. It's about 12. Make sure, like, wherever the eyes are, you have a lot of that pointing up. I think we'll do 5. These are little soda reds. And we'll do the work on the Kennebecs next. All right. D. Because these are small, I'm going to plant them maybe a little bit closer together. And that way we know we got 2 varieties. So we got our sodas and our Kennebecs. And then basically it's just covering them up. And that's it. You can mound it. Other things we got to plant and seed are poppies. We're a little bit late on getting those seeded, but since you just sprinkle those on top of the soil, we're hoping we get some. And then some radishes. I think we're going to put some radishes in between like the rows of potatoes, because then they grow quickly and they don't go deep, so we can harvest them pretty quick. So might have a few rows of radishes, a few rows of poppies. So tiny. Radishes. So in between the rows of potatoes, I'm going to plant turnips here and then beets. So they shouldn't go that deep, so we shouldn't be disturbing any root systems of the potatoes. Just maximizing space. So we got snowball turnips and early wonder beets. First time planting either, so we're going to see how they do. These are tiny seeds. I don't need that many.
That's our second gardening video of the season, and I cannot wait for some of these things to start producing.
Yeah, we're going to say let it grow.
Let it grow.
And hopefully we don't have to build a snowman.
I hope not, because it's not fun covering things, but, you know, our frost date is technically mid-March, so we still have a month to contend with possibilities.
Possible with frost, so we have some more uppotting to do later.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the overflow garden that we need to finish. And the berry area, we also need to figure out exactly how we're going to manage it this year. But it's so exciting. Thank you so much for coming along.
And as always, you are awesome and you are loved.
Until next time.